This is my trip to Red Bay, Alabama in the Bob Tiffin Service Center. A couple things I learned. I've almost finished editing this video, and I am not a professional YouTuber, and this video is basically crap. You can fast forward to the end. I have a summary of basically my experience there, what it was like to take your RV from out of state, come into Red Bay, Alabama to have your Tiffin serviced at the Bob Tiffin Service Center. So, Red Bay, Alabama, home of Tiffin Motor Homes. If you own a Tiffin and you have for a while, you probably heard of Red Bay. Probably thought about taking your RV there for service. I am taking my RV there for the first time. I've owned this Tiffin for approximately 1 year and just in need of various service things. I got a slide out of adjustment, heated floor, part of it's not working. I need to get my Aqua hot water system serviced, various other little small items. I got a couple of big planned trips this summer, so I want to make sure we're squeaky clean. So, the first part of the experience, getting on the waiting list. I put my name on the waiting list at the end of January. It's now mid-April, and with a little bit of adjusting here and there, got kind of a slot scheduled, and I'm on my way. I sent an email early this morning saying that I would be there at around 2 o'clock, and they kind of had this laissez-faire kind of attitude of they will work you in when you get here kind of thing, which is a little spooky because a lot of us are driving from all over the country, and there's no set schedule or anything like that, so I'll be curious to see what happens. I also, just in the communication, you know, they're like, pull into the campground. Well, I don't really know where the campground is. I tried to look it up on the satellite view. So the communication could be a little bit more concise, and I don't go straight to the service center. That's another kind of oddball thing. But anyway, I have really high hopes for this trip, and I hope to report back that everything was 5 stars. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I just arrived at Red Bay. Took me exactly as long as the GPS said it did. Roads coming in aren't too bad. They're pretty narrow. But anyway, so they do not have a spot for me here at the local campground. There's a campground about a mile and a half away, they said, and there's another campground a little bit farther. They should have some spots there. Folks are nice enough. They didn't act like I was ruining their day by being here or anything else, but they write everything down on paper. There is no computer system, no nothing. It's like tearing pieces of paper off, writing stuff down, you taping it on and whatever. So they're not the friendliest people in the world, but what they make it up with automation. I'm kidding. They're friendly enough. It's just it's like kind of stepping back in time. So I'm gonna drive down here, let them know, let the mechanic guy know that I'm here, and then I'm gonna toddle off to the campsite. So I just left the service facility and spoke with the guys that do all the scheduling and everything else, and the quote of the day is, we'll see if we can work you in tomorrow. So I had notified them of 2 p.m. arrival time, arrived right at 2, and they did have my file sitting kind of on top, which was nice, but the exact words were, well, they've got 15 other guys that they're trying to work in front of me or something like that. I didn't quite understand it, but I did hear the term 15. So it is approximately 3:15. I'm all settled into the campground and have no idea when I will roll this thing into service. Day 1 at Red Bay. Well, unfortunately, had a little snafu here. So after being told that I would there would be an attempt to work me in sometime tomorrow, I was told that I should probably go set up camp, which I was doing, and I got 3 calls from Red Bay, and you know what that means. Probably had a spot for me. So I immediately called them back 5 minutes later, according to my call log, and was unable to reach the party that kind of does the scheduling. So I immediately sent them an email and just said, hey, I realized I missed a couple of calls, ready to rock and roll. That was at 2:36 p.m. And so didn't hear anything back, unfortunately. So hunkered down and playing the waiting game for my RV to slide into one of the 48 bays at the Tiffin Surface Center. Hopefully it'll happen soon. Kind of getting a little antsy. Not much to do in Red Bay, by the way. I'll see if I can find some shenanigans to get into and hopefully supply some feedback. All right, the morning of day 2 at Red Bay. So got up this morning 6:01 a.m. I got an email saying that they had tried to call me 5 times yesterday. In all fairness, they did try to call me. It was 3 times, saying they had a spot open, and I couldn't reach back out to them. I couldn't get in. I called several times, got voicemails and whatnot. They probably just went down the line and then immediately filled that spot to another waiting client. But anyway, I did get the email and just said, hey, I realized that. I'm standing by the phone, waiting. So day 2 at Red Bay, early in the morning, at the campground around the corner. Well, let's see how the day shapes up, shall we? And I just received a call and said that they have a bay for me. Yes, Red Bay has a bay. One of their 48 service bays is now going to be open. Unfortunately, it's not going to be open until tomorrow, Wednesday, my 3rd day, at 7 a.m., bay number 10. So I'm stoked. I got a decent little list of stuff, which I'll go over later to get repaired. But the experience continues. So this is where the rubber meets the road. I'm going to hunker down this afternoon, get out and enjoy the weather, do one of the millions of things that there are to do in the beautiful town of Red Bay. It is nice, but it's kind of small. Tiffin is basically the entire town. So anyway, I will look forward to the morning and hopefully a return back to home tomorrow afternoon. Thus begins the early morning stampede into the service bays. I just pulled in after day and a half, really a couple days. Check it out. Pulled in right at 7. As soon as I got here, the door opened. Let's see what happens. So when I dropped my RV off, I talked to the mechanic and gave him a long list of stuff, and I swear he did not write a thing down. Scared me to death. But I just got my call. They brought me in on Wednesday morning. It's now Thursday at lunch, and I am done. I do not know my total yet, so let's see what they say. Aqua hot service, air conditioner, got the heated floors working, and I'll put a list up on here, but got quite a bit of stuff done. I don't even know what to guess. I'm a little bit afraid. So I just wrapped up. My repair bill was $1,200. I went here because I specifically wanted my heated floors fixed, which weren't working, which was rats. And I wanted the Aqua Hot service by them and the slides. So it's kind of Tiffin specific stuff that I was looking at, and I have the time, so I can take a few days off and go down there. I don't know how they do that. The labor rate there is probably, I think it's $180 an hour. So they didn't have a lot of parts, but they had it in there for, I mean, probably 8 or 9 hours. Just the labor rate alone seems like it should have been more. However, I know they go to lunch, so they're not just trying to bilk you for every minute that you're in there, which I absolutely love that. But anyway, the parts were low. They did fix a couple of extra things that they found. So I'm really impressed with the whole service experience and the cost involved. Okay, quick summary. So started out, first of all, getting on the waiting list as far back as late January. It took me a couple of solid months to work my way up to the top of the waiting list. I called in, they said, okay, you can be here on this particular day, which I confirmed, and rolled in on a Monday. The campground was first come, first serve, so there are plenty of other campgrounds, and they will call you as soon as one becomes available at Tiffin, and you can move over, which is what I did. But know that you're not going to be guaranteed a spot. They will not reserve you a spot. So I think that's the policy with everybody. So you roll in, and basically even though I had an appointment and I confirmed that I was going to be there and everything else, then you kind of get into another queue. So that queue, you wait around until they make an appointment for you to pull your RV in. However, they may catch you at the beginning, or if the timing's just right, and call you prior to them kind of working you into the schedule. So keep your phone close. Don't miss that appointment. Once you get in there, it's kind of old school. The mechanics are great, though. My whole experience with getting an RV worked on them for the cost was amazing. Just a couple things about the trip in general. Number one, if you are coming from the west, you're headed east, and you're coming on I-40, go through Tupelo. The GPS, both of them routed me through some other little podunk town, and Tupelo was a lot nicer, a lot more interstate. I didn't bring a toad. I have a scooter, and I like to walk and whatnot, so I didn't really need my car. Kind of wish I would have brought it, but didn't really have to have it. I don't mind scooting around a little bit, though. There's a couple of restaurants in town. The town's pretty small. There is no booze in this town. You can't get a beer, you can't get a glass of wine, you can't get a glass of whiskey to save your life. You will have to go over to Mississippi to get you a bottle of booze or 12-pack or whatever your fancy is. So make sure that you take care of that if you need it. There is a golf course there. They accept Tiffin service guests, so go over there and play some golf. I didn't bring my sticks, but I heard it was pretty nice. Take the tours. Take both the Tiffin tour and the paint tour. They're awesome. I hate it, but Bob Tiffin was the friendliest guy that I met there. Not that, on customer service, 0 to 5, kind of a 3.5, but Bob Tiffin was all smiles and friendly and just as happy as he could be. Love to see that filter down, but overall the experience was great. I would go again. I just think you need to have time to work yourself into the schedule. Know that where you're going to stay may not be set, but there is plenty of availability. I can't ever see them filling up. And you may have to wait a little while. I ran into a couple that had been here for 7 weeks, albeit getting a lot of stuff done. But yeah, and the parking lot is a blast. Get in the parking lot as soon as you can. Hope this helps. It was a great trip overall. Bob Tiffin Service Center. I'd do it again. And as a matter of fact, I may let some of the maintenance defer and just hit this place, kind of maybe like once every 2 years and have them go through it. That seems to make more sense, and you know what you're getting. Good people too. Enjoyed it. Hope this helps.